What we're going to talk about here is how I went about creating this Nintendo Switch ad. So this entire ad was AI generated from creating pictures and then turning those pictures into videos and then stitching everything together and making it look dope. So as you see, this was my final product, and I'm going to talk about how I actually did this. So the platform we're currently on is called Freepik, and within Freepik, they have this cool tool called Spaces. It's an infinite grid that allows you to put all of your work in front of you and kind of connect things and automate the process. But I'll talk through it, and then you'll see as we go. So to begin, I started off with just this one picture. What this node is a Nano Banana Pro. So as you see, this node, it allows you to choose any of the main image generator models, and you can choose what model you want. You can choose what format you want. You can choose the output, and you can choose how many pictures you would like to generate. So as you see, I started off with this prompt, a minimalistic render of a Nintendo Switch 2 console, docked and handheld in matte black and white, isolated on a white hue background, in the style of a Nintendo commercial. And we got a nice little picture of the Switch. So from there, I said I wanted to add a background to the Switch. So I got this nice Mario picture that I liked. I used Nano Banana Pro again to change the outlook. So as you see, I said make this image 16 by 9. Got my background that I wanted. And then what I did is I took this picture and I connected to another image generator node with the original picture and the prompt saying, put the background onto the Switch 2. So we put that background onto here. I generated 2 pictures that I liked. So I was like, okay, these are 2 pictures that I would like to work with. As you see, Nano Banana Pro, the prompt is connected. We got 2 image prompts as references plus the text. And that's how we came up with these pictures. So next, what I did is I came up with multiple different angles and images and types that I could use from this original image. So as you see, we have the Nintendo Switch opened up with a NVIDIA chip. I know there's a NVIDIA chip within the Nintendo Switch. So I got a picture of the NVIDIA chip, and I used that with a nice detailed prompt. And I got all these prompts from speaking with either ChatGPT or Gemini, just figuring out what I want, having a conversation, and getting some nice prompts. So as you see, we're getting a bunch of different images. I got the Switch opened up. I did a couple images that I didn't use. So like a matte black Switch, images of some buttons, images handheld. So as you see, it's a common theme of a prompt, a nice prompt with a reference photo. And you'll see some of that I use. So like I remember I used this picture. I didn't use these, but I've thought about them. But this is just to show the creative process. So I ended up really only using this picture, one of these pictures, one of these pictures, and both of these. And then I brought everything together to create this. So next I will show how I went about the video process of bringing all these images to life before putting everything together. So now we are on Kling. So we're on a website called app.kling. This is just where I choose to generate some Kling videos sometimes. You can do this on many other places, but I just chose to come here because I had credits. That's really why I came here. If I come to videos, we'll see all the videos that I had created. So if you look to the right, as you see, it took a lot of generations. That's kind of the game here, is generating a lot of different videos and figuring out which ones work for you to stitch together ultimately. So the way we do this is we're using a start frame and an end frame. So this wasn't a video I used, but I used this process throughout the time of creating videos, so it's good to talk about this. The way you do this is you choose your first picture. That is how the video is starting. Then you choose your end frame, and that's going to be how the video ends. You put that in these apps, you give it a nice prompt, and it will bring these 2 together. So it'll take the first picture and the last picture, and it'll create a video. So as you see, I did that for a few different things. I remember these didn't turn out how I wanted, so I started over. Yeah, so all of these, if you look, I actually did all of these without a prompt. So these are what videos look like when you don't use a prompt. Maybe generic. And then I started to add prompts. So if I go up, now we'll see a better prompt. So if you look in the beginning, I was having an issue because the dock and the actual switch would morph together. So you see, this isn't what I was looking for, and this happened because I just chose two pictures and did no prompt. So the AI model just made whatever it wanted. It didn't have any direction. It created whatever it wanted to. But if I come here, you'll see I actually have a decent prompt, so it knows what I was looking for. We're just being a lot more descriptive. The handheld unit, including the screen, Joy console. Basically, what this prompt is saying is take the actual switch and just have that morph into the NVIDIA chip, because that's what I wanted. So that's how we got this video. And then I would do multiple different generations just to see what I want. So in this game, sometimes you just got to do a bunch of generations and figure out what works best for you. And we just continue that process, start frame, end frame, and see what we can get. Again, I'm getting all these prompts from speaking with ChatGPT. This is basically telling ChatGPT what I want. I tell ChatGPT or Gemini what I want and tell it to act as an expert prompt engineer. And then it'll create the videos I'm looking for. So as you see, I went about this process for everything. So start frame, end frame, and then whatever the end frame is, you want that to be the start frame of your next video. That's how you get that seamless feel. And then it's really just about editing afterwards when you stitch everything together. So now we'll go through all the different generations. So as you see, I went through all these different generations, picked out what I wanted, and stitched everything together. So got a lot of different options here. So this game is really about iteration, knowing which softwares you want to use for what task, and then just your personal taste as to what you believe should be the final product. So I went through this whole process, got all the videos I wanted, and then the last step here is to stitch everything together in your editor of choice. So that's either usually CapCut or Adobe, and then adding sound to that. So that's what I did after this. All right, so now we are in CapCut, and as you see, I have all these different videos, and I just put everything together. So we have this first video, second video, third video, and I did different speed ramps for each video. So if I come to curve, you'll see each video has a speed ramp to it. And that's how we get these effects. So if we come here, each one is a different speed ramp. And speed ramps, it just speeds up and slows down the video in an efficient way. So that's how we get this. And there you go. Pretty simple at this point. So that's how we did it.